Hi there, my name is Cathy McClure and I'm really excited to be at the Louise Hopkins Underwood Center for the Arts. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I actually went to school at Texas Tech though, and it was quite a while ago, 25 years ago, but I'm excited to be back. The title of the show is Cathy McClure Reimagineer, and it's a take on the Disney Imagineer team. And so what I have been doing for the last 15 or so years, I have been taking battery-operated stuffed animals that I find in thrift stores, and I was curious about what was underneath the stuffing, and so I took these things home. I ripped all the stuffing off of the exterior, exposed the plastic that was underneath, took that plastic, cast it in sterling silver or bronze, machined it, filed it, sanded it, and then put it all back together using the original mechanism from the original tossed away toy. So I like to call myself a glorified recycler. I believe that we live in a massively excessive consumer society. And so the work that I make reintroduces preciousness into our world. Something that has been disregarded and thrown away is now put on a pedestal. So that's what the show's about on a broad scale. The Mickeys are a totally different thing. So I don't really like to tell people what the work's about. I like them to experience it for themselves. So a lot of my work is about process. It's actually very process oriented. And with Mickey, I want to just talk about the evolution of the piece and how I found him. So I was in New York and I had a show at the gallery that represents me there, and I was, I stalked Toys R Us, before it went out of business, just to find out what the latest, greatest toy was, right? So I went to the Toys R Us in Times Square, and I found this battery-operated Mickey Mouse, and I was so, intrigued by what might be under it. I took it back to the gallery. I had an opening that night, and I literally ripped off all the stuffing, put it on the shelf, and anyway, somebody bought it that day because it was this, and isn't this gorgeous? So what I've done since then is I've taken these guys, and they're all the same, but they're a little bit different. I've manipulated their circuit boards. I have hardwired them all together so that they have an interaction within the group. And again, I like to leave it up to the viewer to decide exactly what's going on. And this piece is this is the third incarnation of this piece that I've created, and it's taken on a whole new meaning with COVID. It's a different, I love to put pieces in new environments because it's always a revelation for me, and I hope it is for the viewer too. So I'd like to introduce everyone to Trumpet. Trumpet was the very first battery-operated stuffed animal that I ripped apart and exposed the plastic and did what I do. So this stuffed animal, like the juxtaposition of what it was as to what it is now, was very important for the show because, as you'll see, there are other pieces in the show from the series of bots that I've created, and it just shows the difference between what was thrown away and what is now precious and to be, to be discovered, to be understood that we live in this consumer society. So the series of bots that I've chosen for this show, there's a difference between the sterling and the bronze, and I'd just like to talk about what that means to me briefly. For the bronze pieces, they are more like something that you would find unearthed from the ground. It's more of an archaeological find, if you will. The bots have turned into something that are old and archaic. With the sterling, that precious metal austerity comes into play, like the coldness of the metal, and as opposed to the warmness of the bronze. So that's it. Thank you so much. Please come to Luca and check out the show. And I love Lubbock.